All right, so it's that time of the year. New Sentai, number one Sentai Gozyuger has premiered. I watched it on Saturday night when the subs dropped. Um, Time of recording, I watched it again because I was like, I don't know how I feel about this because it's kind of cool. There's some cool elements, and uh, you know, from a watching Sentai week to week, I didn't get into Sentai until the last anniversary season, which was Zenkaiser. And that kind of, I've been very adamant in any Sentai videos I've done, which isn't a lot, where I like that show from the standpoint of when they were doing like the anniversary season, like power up attacks and seeing the suits. That kind of like, I would jot down notes, be like, hey, I'm going to go check out this season because I don't want to say I'm still new to Sentai. I think I'm like 10 plus seasons deep now that I've watched, going back and watching older stuff based on recommendations. By the way, before I continue talking about this, if you have any Super Sentai recommendations for shows I should check out, please let me know in the comments below. I will check them out. I have every season. I'm just, time. And usually if someone recommends like, oh, you got to check this out, it's great. And I'm like, all right, I will check it out. And I move those up the list. It's the reason why I've seen things like Live Man, Five Man, obviously Die Ranger. That's probably one of my favorite seasons. Obviously modern Reiwa stuff. Very divisive that I enjoy Lupat for the show and I like the suits and stuff. So, and a lot of people, I guess, don't like that. Same with Rio Soldier. I did enjoy that to an extent. So I take the recommendation seriously. So please let me know in the comments below what your favorite season is. And if it's something I watched, I'll let you know. If it's not, I'll let you know and I'll add it to the list or bump it up the list because I do have a small list right now. I haven't asked for Sentai recommendations in a while because I wanted to get caught up on watching some stuff before I add to the list. But I want to say I went into this like I didn't watch the press conference. I didn't watch episode 0, which was basically what was in the beginning of this one with the Robos all battling and basically everything being destroyed except for the Tega Sword Robo. So I had no prior anything going into this. Like I was like, all right, except for the toys, which I do candy toy, videos on, which I've been covering since they started announcing them. So I didn't know how I felt after the first time I watched it because this seems so different compared to the last couple seasons. One, from a standpoint of the combat and fighting, I was like, bro, this is like a fighting game. Like, remember back in like, I'm old, so like I think it was Super Nintendo, we had like a Power Rangers game that was just basically a fighting game with all like the Zords and stuff like that. That was cool. Like, so I kind of got vibes from that game watching this, and then also when we had our Gozu Wolf fighting, I was like, he hit one of the little bell minion dudes with like a freaking 12 hit combo, something out of like Street Fighter or Marvel Capcom, and I was like, this is an unblockable combo. Like, is he like, what's the hitbox detection on this attack? Because he was going in, and I was like, damn. So that side of things was like got me really intrigued, and I love robots. That's like my favorite thing. That's like easy. You want me entertained, right? Give me just anime, a show, anything. Just put robots in it and have them punch and fight. Easy to please when it comes to that stuff. Give me all of it. Like, I want all the robots fighting. I'm here for it. Like, I want flashbacks more of the fight from the beginning style where all the robos are now in a graveyard and Tega Sword is just chilling at top, and I'm like, damn, like what happened over here? I need more of that. I need to know more. um but even from the standpoint of like, I don't, so I did finish Moon Boonger. I was behind. I finished it. And I thought it was really intriguing that they had Taya's actor in here and they pulled the whole Clark Kent, put some glasses on him. Because my dumb ass did not recognize it was him at first. And then when he took the glasses off, I was like, I thought he looked familiar, but now I'm like, oh shit, like I'm stupid. How did I not see this? It shows how well I pay attention to things. And I thought it was really interesting that he transformed into the red King Osier, Kuwagata Osier. And I was just like, huh. I will say, I love the hand, like claw sword changer. I need a Memorial Edition like right now, because I know for a fact with my adult size hands, that DX version, I ain't gonna be able to grab it. I ain't gonna fit. It's gonna look weird, but I love that changer, especially when you get the clap for it and they do the windmill arm motion. Like, I thought that was really cool. I also like the rings. I'm a sucker for like ring gimmicks. Like, I love Wizard, and I have that's one of the first shows I literally have probably every gimmick of is the Wizard rings. And so I was like, got me. Like, I like the Sentai gear. Like, when it comes to the gimmicks, Sentai's been hitting good. Like, Sentai gears were freaking crazy. I love those. I like collecting little things that show like characters on them. So the Sentai rings were cool. Then we got cars with Boom Moonger. King Order didn't have, you know, gimmicks. So I'm glad from a standpoint of I didn't spend a lot of money when that show was airing, except for all the candy toys, which I have on display behind me. And now we have these Sentai rings, and they look great. I need those. I'm probably wife's gonna get mad, but I'm getting every Sentai ring. Like, it's happening. At least I know there'll be 50. Like, so at least I know that I won't get caught up. I mean, no, they might do some special editions. Damn, I didn't think of that. But back to the episode. So, I kind of I'm really intrigued. I like the air of mystery around our main character. I forgot his name because of age. I'm gonna butcher names. If you've seen any of my Sentai videos before, even my commentary ones, takes me a bit to get the names correct. I'm gonna mispronounce them. My enunciation, my history of growing up with a little speech issue, and it's fixed. But I'm still bad with names, and the stutter might come out a bit. I'm not sure, but I like an air of mystery around our main character, especially his past. Because like when in the beginning, when there was a guy who was like trying to got mad at his coworker and he pulled out a knife in the convenience store they're at, like he was unfazed by the heat of the item. It seems like he's stronger than a normal human, and this and that. So I'm like, okay, there's probably some backstory there. There definitely is. I can't wait to find out. I don't need it right away, but I like the air of mystery. Flashbacks to what I'm assuming is his mom, because one of the whole things about making a pact with the ring is you tell them what your wish is, and then when you become the number one, you get your wish. But he has no wishes. He has nothing he wants to wish for, And the flashback with what I'm assuming his mother, like she was like, close off your heart, like cover, like like don't wish for anything. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna get some information on that eventually. But let's go back to the punching and fighting. I thought everything about this episode was really like it was kind of like not a slow start. It was entertaining build up, but the latter half of the episode with all the fighting. I mean, we got a robot fight already. We got some guy, I think it was like Fire Candle. He shows up on Earth with his little robo. He's lighting everything on fire. He's calling himself the number one savior, and I was like, but you're destroying everything. You're trying to save the world. And his whole thing is everyone's trying to get the Tega sword with like the ring and everything. That's like what everyone's trying to get, and so I was like, all right. And then we get introduced to another character. I think it's Bouquet. I like the pun. Their little station thing on their home planet is like a big like engagement ring box with a ring in it, and I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. That's neat. I like that. That's intriguing to me. Why? Honestly, I don't even know. I'm like, why? I don't. You live in a ring box? Like, that's, hey, it happens. Another thing that was really cool, and I did enjoy because from a lore and backstory is just the fighting between the Tega Sword Robo and this Fire Candles Robo. They end up like when they're gonna fight, they end up a boxing ring pops up in like like a pocket dimension style, and he's like, "Oh, boxing a ring for the fight," and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool. Like, why does this seem like the fighting game inspiration?" Because I love fighting games. I'm trash at them now, but I used to be really good at fighting games. I used to play a lot of them, and now with just how they do the pricing and then all the DLC and the super ultra editions, that's a story for another time. Like that's my own personal issues that I have with fighting games because I love fighting games, and I will say, that was really cool visually. I liked everything about the fighting was sick, and then I thought it was also intriguing that the first henshin of the series for the Red wasn't even our main character. It was actually Taya's actors, characters whose name I forgot, transforming into, Kuwagata Ozier. But his dream slash wish was that he wants to, perform and have his own like concert hall performance, which I thought was cool. I think it's intriguing to learn. Like, we're going to learn about different people's wishes and dreams throughout the show and what they're fighting for, basically. Um, I did find it intriguing from a standpoint of, I'm trying to think how to word it. The when I heard, like, I've saw clips from the press conference. Like I said, I didn't watch the press conference, just what I see on social media, people posting stuff, and I watch a lot of my friends and mutuals, all their content on here. I haven't watched anyone's reviews yet of the episode, cause I'll do that after I record this. And there was videos of like Reds popping up and fighting, so I was like, I wonder how the story is that all these Reds are kind of fighting each other, and when the episode ended, it started the fight between our Gyozo Wolf and Kuwagata Ozier, because he was like, you don't even have a wish or a dream, and that kind of like caused him to start fighting with him. And we already saw our other 3 or 4 members of the team with their rings watching on, because when he first came out with the ring and did his wolf howl, which was really cool, their rings started vibrating, so they're like, oh, it's here. So I'm curious the team dynamic, how that's gonna be when you're going for number one. It's like, well, is the team gonna be number one? Like, I'm on board with the show. Like, if they keep up the action, this fighting style with the fight choreographs and choreography and everything like that, like, I'm hooked, right? But at the same time, I'm like, okay. I don't know if I'm gonna review every episode though. I may do it in blocks just because of time constraints and working and everything else. But I did enjoy what I saw from this episode. Like I said, I need the sword. Like, I need to take a sword. I need a memorial. Like I said, I need that. The robo itself was really cool. The hand flying in. There's a lot of visually appealing elements in this episode that could hook you in for a first episode. From a debut first episode, I'm gonna say that this, from a Reiwa standpoint, this might be my favorite premiere episode. Next would probably be King Ozier, because I really love King Ozier. That was such a good show. It's one of my favorites of Reiwa. But yeah, that's it. I didn't want to do a play-by-play. Just give my thoughts on everything I saw in the episode and certain points that stood out to me. Like I said, if the fighting and the robots, you give me more of that, I'm hooked on this show. I'm curious from a toy standpoint how releases are going to be, because it is an anniversary season. So I'm wondering, if we're going to, even though there's a graveyard, I was like, once I saw a graveyard of all the robos from previous Sentai, I was like, oh no, so we're not going to get any like previous Sentai robo fights? Is there a way to resurrect them? Like, I thought it would have been cool to see Tiga Sword and freaking, even regular King Ozier, not Extreme or God King Ozier, just regular King Ozier robo fighting. Or, Room Machine, or, the Boon Boon Robo, like stuff like that, like the Real Soldiers Robo, like the Shogun one, or was it the Dire Ranger? Like, I would love to see those Robos come back as an anniversary to fight. Like, that would be cool. I need robot fights. Give me more. But that's really my thoughts on the episode. I'm intrigued by it. Like I said, I'm gonna watch episode 2. I'm not gonna. I think reviewing weeklies not gonna happen with me. I think I'm just gonna do more like stuff like this, less review, more opinions, my thoughts, more like, if it was an article, it'd be more of an opinion piece than it would be a review. So every once in a while I'll check in and do a review or a video, just talking about my thoughts on the show and where it's at. But yeah, that's it for the video. I thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below what you think of this episode, and like I said in the beginning of the video, please recommend Super Sentai seasons to me. I don't need more to watch from that standpoint, because I have all the shows on my external, but it's like, just to push stuff up the queue. I'm curious, so let me know what I should check out. I'll probably do a follow-up video going over all the shows I've watched and what's on my watch list and my thoughts on those. But that's it for the video. I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.